So I've opened up Automation Studio and we're going to build this circuit. So this is the circuit for lab 5 that you need to draw, and that's the circuit build number 3. Okay, so I know it looks a little daunting, but we're going to do this together. Essentially, I'm just going to do it right now and you're just going to watch what I do and follow it. Okay, good. So we need to start with our rails, 24-volt rails. So I'm going to go over here to electrical stuff, and I'm going to go to JIC standards, Joint Industry Council standards. Okay, good. So okay, so let's build lab 5 together. I have Automation Studio open. We're going to build lab 5 together. I need you to build circuit 3 for lab 5, and I will walk you through every single step. So it looks a little daunting, but you'll see it just goes quick, bang, 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 as soon as you kind of get into a roll. So let's get on it. So the first thing you need to do is draw the rails. So I got 24 volts and 0 volts, so I'm going to go for 24, and I'm going to drag that and put that right there, and I'm going to grab a 0, and I'm going to put that maybe over here somewhere because I need a little space. Okay, so let's start going. So I need a stop-start station with a holding circuit. Okay, so now I'm just going to open this up a little bit here. Now, a lot in the main section, so you have a lot of different things, and a lot of the things that you're going to use for this are all here. But I'm going to go into the specific menus that we need to look for these things. So I need some switches. So I'm going to go to switches, and I'm going to open this up. Actually, I need to normally close first because I put my normally close first. Okay, good. So, it wants to know what it is. Yeah, it's called stop. Oops. Okay, good. So I'm going to call it stop, and I'm just going to hit that, and good. Now I want a normally open. I'm going to put that guy in there, and that's going to be called start. Okay, so I'm using capitals. You don't need to use capitals specifically. And now what I need is, I'm not going to do this contact first because I actually want to have a relay coil first. That's my relay coil. So I'm actually going to go into here. I'm going to go to output components, and I'm going to go to coils, and I'm going to grab a coil, and I'm going to drag it over here. And now it wants to know what it is. I'm going to call it R1. Okay, good. So now I can actually put a contact in here. Again, I'm going to go back over to, I'm going to close this. Going back here, I'm going to look, there's contacts. Now I can just go here and I can grab a normally open contact. It'll be down here, but I'm going to use these menus just so you get used to it. Okay, so output components, contacts. Good, I want a normally open contact. I'm going to put it here. Now, the normally open contact is associated with R1. So I'm just going to double click on this, and it will be called R1. Okay, good. So now all I have to do is put the lines in. So I'm just going to click anywhere. Now I'm going to go from here to here, and then from here, so I click on this, and then I click on that. I click on this, I click on that, I click on this, and I click on that. Now, if I wanted to, I could move this over. I'm actually going to move this just a little bit. There you go. So now I need to go from here to there, and from there to there, and now we have our first rung. The second rung starts with a normally open contact, and it goes to the motor. Now that normally open contact is associated with R1, so that's not going to be a problem. I'm going to dump that in there, and it'll be like, hey, what's it associated with? But it's R1. I'm going to double click R1. Okay, good. So done. Now I've got that contact. Now this is the problem. That is a normally closed contact, not a problem. I can put this here, but the thing is, there is no R2 yet. I haven't put it into my drawing yet. So I'm just going to call it R1 for now, and then I'll show you how to change it in a bit. Okay, good. So we can move forward and put a pump in there. Now the thing is, I can't put a motor in there with the JIC, but I can just put another output device here. So I'm going to go to output components, and I'm just going to go to a signaling device. I'm just going to put a lamp in there because I can't actually put a motor in here. So I'm going to call that motor 1, or pump 1. So I'm just going to call it M1. So motor 1. I'm going to close that. That's no problem. Now I can finish off this rung. So I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to go up to here, and you can see this thing kind of wants to jump to at a right angle. So I'm going to click there. Now I'm going to go from here to there, and from there to there, and then from there to there. And then if I want, I could grab this whole thing and just move it up maybe just a little bit. Okay, good. So let's make this next rung. Okay, it looks like we need a contact. Again, I'm going to go to my contacts, and I'm going to go for normally open. When I place it there, it'll want to know what it is. It's associated with R1, and that's fine. Okay, and I'm going to close that. Now I need a switch. So I'm going to go to switches. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a normally open switch here. although it is a level switch. We're just going to simulate the level switch with a normally open. So I'm going to call this upper level switch. Okay, so now I'm going to put in my relay coil, and I'm going to go over here, my output components coil, and I'm going to grab a coil and put it here. Now this is going to be my R2. Okay, so R2. So now I can name that other contact. But for now, I'm still going to put some contacts in here. So I'm going to go back to my contacts. I'm going to get it normally open. I'm going to dump that there. I'm going to associate this with my R2. Double click. Done. I'm going to put that right underneath here. Now, for me to click on here and go up, I can't because it's selected. So I can just unselect it. And now I can go up here and here. And I'm going to fill in my rung. And I'm going to go from here to there and then over from here. And I'm going to double click that. Okay. So from here to there, and then from there up and double click. Okay, cool. So now I have that rung. But my problem is this guy is not named right. So I'm going to, because he's supposed to be R2. You see that? It's R2-3. And by the way, you don't need the -1, -2, -3. So I'm going to double click on it. Now I'm going to highlight my R2. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say create link. And it turns into R2. But if I want to put it back to R1, I hit R1 and then I say create link. I can actually even connect it with the motor. So it becomes closed when the motor energizes, which is, is not really what you're supposed to do, but you can do it. And then I can do this, create link, and now it's M1. So I'll go back to R2 because I want it to be R2 and I close it. And now that's R2. Again, we don't have R1-1, R1-2, R1-3 like we do here. And let's continue on building. So essentially, I need to add another rung here. So it looks like I need another normally open contact. And I'm going to put that there. And that's going to be from my R1. No, it's from my R2, pardon me. So I'm going to double click on that. And we're done. Now, I need a timer and a motor. So I'm going to put my timer in. And watch this is pretty cool. Timers are not actually timers. They're coils with on delay and off delay. I want an on delay coil because my timer is an on delay. So I'm going to put that there. Now, I'm going to call it T1 and we'll set the time a little bit later. I'm actually going to move that up, I think, just by 1 because I don't think they're even. Okay, so now I'm going to connect this guy. Again, I can't grab onto that. So I'm just going to click here. Now I'm going to go up here, double click. Whoa, I want to go over here and then up. Double click. I'm going to go from here, double click. Now I'm going to go from here over to here. Now what I want to do is I want to put another component here. I want to put a mixer. Oh, and I have to put a timer contact in here too. So I'm going to put another mixer. And all I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to go to my output components, signaling devices, pardon me. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to call this M2. Okay, good. So now I'm going to click here and I'm going to finish this off here. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to double click. Whoa, I want to bring that there and double click it. Okay, good. So now what I want to do is I want to bring this over to here and I'm going to click here and then I'm going to click here, double click here. So the reason I'm doing that is because I want to add a component in there. Now that's one way to do it, but the problem is I think I'm going to have to cut that anyway, but we'll see. We'll try and put a contact in here. Now, the timer contacts in Automation Studio are just normal contacts. So I'm going to go back to my contacts and I'm going to get a normally closed contact and I'm going to dump it in here. I want to see if it just links in. So I don't think it does. Now I want to associate that with timer 2. So where is timer 2? Well, all of these are alphabetical. Timer 1. So double click on it, close it. Now, the thing is, I don't think that's connected. The way I can, or maybe it is. The way I can see it's connected is I can drag this up. And it did. It dragged it up and dragged it down. So it is physically connected. That's right. Okay, so you can dump that in there. The old Automation Studio version, you couldn't do that, but this one you can. Okay, good. So that's nice. And, oh yeah, we're done. Yeah. We're done this part. So what I can do is simulate it now. Watch this. I'm going to go to simulation mode up here. I'm going to open this right up. Okay, so yeah, when you do that, it kind of thinks a little bit. Automation Studio thinks a little bit. So what I'm going to do is my upper float switch is, okay, so I'm going to, that should be open. Now, watch this. I can toggle this, and I can change it. See, I can change that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press start here. That'll close, and this motor should come on. Oh, but that's not energized, right? We're not seeing any current go through that. These will light up when they have current going through them. Okay, let's just press play. Cool. So now what's going on is my motor's coming on. Good. So the tank is filling. It's going up and up and up and up. When it gets full, I'm going to close this. Then what's going to happen is that's going to close, and then my timer's going to start to count. And this is going to also come on at the same time, the mixer motor, and then it will stop. Ready? Here we go. It's full. Tank's full. Okay. So the mixer motor comes on. Oh, and it stopped. It only came on for a second. Oh, yeah, that's right, because I didn't set this. So when you click on this, when you're not in run mode, it opens this, double click it, and you go in here, and then you click on data, so you can change it. But there's nothing available. And the problem is, see this star? If I click on it, it shows all properties. So you have to make sure, if you can't see the timer setting, you click on this, and then that gives you access. Oh, so it's just 1 second. I want to kick that up too. I want to kick it up. Does it go? No, I don't. Okay, so I have to change that like this. I'm going to go to 5. Okay, good. So now I can just close this. I don't have to hit save. Let's run it again, and we will see. So I'm going to start it. Now it's filling. The motor is coming on. It's filling. I'm going to close this, and there. That came on. It should have come on for 5 seconds. Let's try and count that. I'm gonna look at my timer again. I'm gonna go to data, and I'm gonna go to here. So that's 5 seconds. I'm just gonna make it like 10, because it didn't seem like 5 seconds. Okay, good. So I press play again, and I'll do this. Okay, the motor's coming on. It's full. When it's full, this will come on, and the motor will come on at the same time. When the motor's done, this will become open. So close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. So that was pretty quick. 10 seconds. I'm not sure exactly what's going on or why it's doing that, but let me just double check this. Okay, my timing, that's milliseconds. Okay, minutes. Do you know what? Milliseconds. You know, I'm just going to go to milliseconds, and I'm going to say, can I do this? Oh, okay. I'm going to go for 5,000 milliseconds, and then I don't know. We'll see what happens. So that's 5,000. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to press play. I'm going to close this. The motor comes on. It gets full. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam. Bam-o, shmam-o, damn-o. Whoa, it's not happening. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, it did. It just took a little longer. You saw that? It stopped? Okay. So I just don't know how to count to 5. Okay, good. So I'll fill it. And 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7, 8. It almost seems like the clock is doubled or something. Anyway, it's working. That's how you build your circuit. So you're going to build this circuit, and then you're going to save it. You go up here, and you go Project, Save As. Now, this is important. Go into this PC, and then go to temporary files, and then name it whatever you're going to name it. So this is going to be Lab 5. Okay, good. Section 3. I'm going to just call it Section 3 or Circuit 3 or something. Okay, so I'm going to hit save. Okay, so now you need to download this file onto your computer so that you can upload it to me. The way you do that, you go up to here, and you go into the app stream, and you click on this guy. I think you've already done this already, and go to temporary files, and then you're going to have the file. Now, it's the largest of all of the files. So this is the one, and then you want to download it, and then you'll have it on your computer, and then from there, you can upload it. So that's how you do it. You are now an expert, and you're good to go.